Hello and welcome to Chair Yoga. Today's chair yoga practice is standing, and we're using the chair for stability and balance. So join me in this chair yoga standing practice. Our feet are firmly planted in the floor. Mine are about an inch or two apart so that my hips are right over my ankles. And then I invite you to feel a lift, pressing the feet into the floor. Let that energy rise up, drawing the ribs away from your hips and rolling the shoulders down your back. So now the shoulders are right over the hips, and we drop those shoulder blades on our back down towards the hips. So there's a little lift in the front body. Ears over shoulders. And then stay here and take a couple breaths and notice how your body feels in this wonderfully body-supported mountain pose. And then I invite you to place one hand on the belly and breathe into that hand so that you start to breathe a little deeper, maybe a little slower. And then exhale and feel the rise and fall of your belly as you get that prana and that oxygen into the lower parts of your lungs. And close your eyes for a moment if you can, placing a hand on the chair if you need to for balance. And watch the breath. And then let all that go. And come back to your mountain pose. And we'll take the hands up and out, overhead. Wiggle your fingers a little bit, palms out. Take them out and down. Drawing them back just a little bit so you get that lift in the front body. Let's take them up again. Wiggle them above your head. And then turn the palms out and draw the arms back just a little so you feel that in your back and you feel a lift in the chest. One more, just like that. Taking your time, feeling the practice more so than doing it. Yeah, good. Nicely done. And roll the shoulders back and down. And let's roll them forward. And then we'll scrunch those shoulders up towards the ears. Feel how tight that makes you feel in the back of the neck. Now sigh it out on your next exhale, out the mouth, and let the shoulders drop. Let's do that again. Notice how you feel when you scrunch up. Sigh it out. Notice how it feels when you release back down. One more. Beautiful. One hand on the chair, lift the outside leg, circle the ankle. Just to kind of get a little movement in the joints of the leg right now and lower it down. And then we march. We lift one foot and we lift the other. We can have our hands on our hips. We could still have that hand on the chair. And then come back to mountain. Hand on the chair, lift the other leg, circle the other ankle. Good. Notice how we use the chair even in our standing postures today. And then lower it down. Mountain pose. So we're going to take the feet apart a little bit. And we're going to circle in the hips here. So hands on your hips. Again, you can have one hand on the chair. You can have your hands on your back, pulling your shoulder blades back a little bit. Elbows going back. And then we'll just circle those hips. Keep the knees somewhat bent. We call that soften the knees so that we're not trying to straighten the legs as much as they can. That gives us a little movement here. Now let's go in the other direction. Good. Let's step the feet together. Good. And then let's step them apart again. And let's take the arms out into this star position. And then as we step the right foot in, we're going to bring the hands up overhead. Let's step it out into that star and step it in into tall mountain. One more. Stay here in tall mountain, reach out on one side, reach out at the other. And then gently float the arms down. So we'll do that on the other side. I'm just adjusting myself so you can see my feet. We come into star. We step the left foot out, arms in a T. As we step the left foot in, the arms come up overhead. Out and in, out and in. Let's do it one more time. And then we stay here in our tall mountain. And again, if you need the hand on the chair, it's always there for you. If you can, press palms together. Elbows can be slightly bent. And draw those elbows alongside of your ears. And if you want, I invite you to lift up just a little bit more. And we're going to tilt the upper body to the right, pushing strongly into that left foot. Feel that stretch on the side body as we come into crescent stretch. And then I invite you to deepen this just by pushing the hips to the left. Oh yeah, feel that. It's beautiful. Take another breath here, and on the exhale, lift it up and release the arms down for a moment. And then we'll take it to the other side. So again, your tall mountain, hands can be out, one hand can be on the chair, and we press the palms together if we're able, and we lift the arms back by the ears. You can stay here. This is a good stretch. Press that right foot into the floor a little bit more than the left this time and lean to the left. Sideways so we get that stretch in the side ribs. And maybe after 2 or 3 breaths, the body says, I'd like some more. So we push the hips to the right and reach the hands out, creating a crescent shape with the body and still breathing nice and easy. Inhale up through center, exhale, and release the arms down and give them a little shake. Let's loosen up now those same muscles we did and make sure that your chair is not in your way. You're going to have your hands, your elbows bent, hands are open, and we're just going to twist side to side. And we can lift the heel you turn away from, getting a little more movement, a little more freedom in the body without hurting the knees. You can do it slow, you can do it medium, or you can go as fast as you like. I'm going to stay at medium, my medium. Couple more, feel that looseness, and then come to mountain pose and just take a couple breaths. Now, using the back of the chair, I'm going to place my hands on the back of the chair and walk my feet back until my upper body is parallel to the floor. And in order to do this, I need to lift the hips and straighten the legs. My feet are about 2 feet apart, or even with the chair legs, I often say. Hands stay pressing into the chair. Make sure you have a chair that's nice and stable here. Now bend the knees. Lower the chest between the arms a little bit more, just a little. Keep the chin neutral and energy from the tailbone up through the spine, out through the crown, lengthening in the back body. And then let's straighten one leg, bend that knee and straighten the other leg, and you feel your hip rise up and back a little bit. Just notice. This is sometimes called walk our dog. Sometimes we lift the heel as we do this, and you can do that too. And then come to steadiness, knees are bent. We're going to straighten both legs slowly, noticing any sensations, pulling the belly in for support for the spine. And then exhale, look forward, maybe step it in an inch or 2, and then we're going to step that right foot forward, left foot back, and bring the body up into a lunge pose. Now, the further you step back, the lower this thigh can come down. Keeping the hands still on the chair, feeling supported as you practice lunge pose. And then we'll take that left hand or the back leg side hand up. Keep the knee bent in front over the ankle and keep that side hand on the chair. And we're going to lift up just a little bit and then lean sideways to the right, towards that bent leg. And then inhale back up, bring that hand down. Now, if you feel good and nice and balanced here, you can even walk that back foot in just a little bit. You can lift one hand or both into a full lunge pose. To help stabilize you here, pull the belly in and then wrap the bottom ribs forward just a little bit to tighten through the core. And then exhale, hands back to the chair. Step that back foot in an inch or two and drop the heel. And straighten the front leg. And then once again, fold forward. This time maybe not so far. You can keep your hands on the chair for this also. Coming into a pyramid pose. Both legs straight. And then this front leg pulls back. The hip pulls back to lengthen the back of that leg. On an exhale, release that, bend that front knee again, and step the back foot forward. Come to your mountain pose. Inhale and exhale. 2, 3, 4 times until you're ready to do the other side. Hands on the chair. We step it back into down dog. Your down dog. Maybe walk your dog here, rocking your hips side to side, lifting one heel, straightening one leg, straightening the other. And then come to steadiness. Push the hips back and up. Straighten both legs and lower the chest, maybe an inch more, pulling the belly in to support you. Energy from the tailbone right out through the crown of the head. And then soften that, round through the spine a little bit. Look forward and step the left foot forward for our lunge pose. Right foot can go back a little bit more. Heel on that right side is lifted if you can. So then you want this front knee right over the ankle. Body stays lifted and strong. Staying here, drawing the belly in for support. And whatever knee is forward, that hand's going to stay on the chair and the other arm's going to come alongside of your ear. And then we fold towards that bent leg, sideways, stretching into the side ribs here. Just feel it. And it's not just crunching over, it's up and out of the ribs, making space in the body. And then come on back. Hand can come down for a moment. Find stability by pulling the belly in, wrapping the ribs forward. And then I invite you, one hand up or both hands up. You choose. Exhale them back down. And then bring that back foot in an inch or two, foot to the floor. Straighten that front leg and we'll lean out over that front leg, keeping the hands on the chair, but at the same time pulling that left hip back a little, deepening the stretch in that back leg or back of the front leg. And then inhale up, step the back foot forward, come to your mountain pose. Good. And I'm just going to angle my chair here a little bit so that we can separate the feet. Now you can stay right behind the chair, but because I'm filming, I want you to see my feet. And so my legs are pretty far apart, right? Farther than my hips. And I'm going to take both feet and I'm going to pivot to the right, which means that the right foot faces the right wall and then that left foot just turns in a little bit. maybe about 45 degrees. And bend that front knee. And if you want to bring the thigh down more, you step the back foot back. We're right here. Yes. And then we're going to take our torso and turn it towards me and extend the arms into what we call Warrior Two. And in Warrior Two, we'll take a little movement here. So we reach the right hand forward an inch, and then we reach the left hand back. We're just rocking into these ribs here. Feel that movement of the upper body. The lower body is keeping us nice and steady here. And then lower the back hand, turn the front palm, and lift. And let's get a nice stretch now in the front right side. Keep that front knee over the ankle for support. Use your left hand on the chair for stability. And bring it back. Warrior Two. And now we're going to take that right hand to the thigh. We're going to take the left hand, turn the palm up and bring it alongside your head so that the left arm and the left leg are almost in the same line. You can stay here, side angle, or you can lean out a little bit, maybe take the forearm to the leg and get a deeper stretch. Wherever you're at, here or here, you want to draw that top shoulder back. You can keep your gaze down towards your foot, making sure your knee stays over the ankle. Or you could look out to your side. And some people like to look up. Doesn't matter, just a different stretch here, but try to keep the arm in the same line as that back leg, a diagonal line. And then we'll slowly come up. So let's use that top hand to draw us up. And bring that arm down. Turn the feet to the front in that wide angle again. One hand on the chair. And we'll fold forward. Pull the belly back and lift the hips. And just take a nice forward fold. Bend the knees, round the back, tuck the chin, and roll up. Let's do that a couple times. Belly in. Back neutral, fold at the hip, and then wherever you're at, you tuck the chin, round the shoulders, pull the belly in, and roll up. One more time here. Rolling up to our standing posture. Now, if you're using the chair like I am, you might want to switch it over to the other side. We're going to pivot the feet to the left and bend that left knee so that the knee is over the ankle. If you want to bring this left thigh more parallel to the floor, not necessary, but if you want that kind of stretch, inch that back foot back a little bit and then pull up in the core to stabilize yourself. Extend the arms and keep the chest forward. Keep the hips relatively open as much as is comfortable. Remember, it's not about the pose or what you look like. It's what do you feel inside? Do you feel a nice strength growing in your legs? Do you feel that pressure in your front heel of your foot? That's helping you be stable. And then we'll rock forward and back a little bit, challenging that stability. And you can always have the front hand on the chair, right? Good. Come to steadiness, hold. Take another breath. And as you exhale, lower the back hand and lift the front hand up. Just kind of stretch it to the ceiling here. Holding and breathing, keeping the back leg as straight as possible. We bring that left hand to the thigh now. Take the right hand alongside your ear. And already you can see you want that arm at a diagonal to the back leg. If you want to go deeper, place the forearm on the thigh or keep it on the chair and lean forward over that front leg. Again, take a look at your knee, make sure it's over the ankle. And if you want to keep your gaze there, that's good. If you want to keep it out towards me, you can do that too. Or you can take it up to the sky And wherever you're at, you want to draw that top shoulder back, still keeping that diagonal line between the back leg and the top arm. On an inhale, we come back up into stretching those arms out in opposite directions. And then release them down, pivot the feet forward, maybe walk them in a little bit, turn the knees out, and we're going to do a little squat here. So again, hand on the chair if you need it. Push the hips back, bend the knees, and then push through your heels and come back up. Now remember, you can use your core to help you rise up. Come back down, stay here where you're comfortable. So it might be here, might be here, wherever you're at. Bring the arms into goal post. And again, if you're using the chair, one arm's in goal post, right? That's okay. And then we'll bring the fingertips together over your head without straightening the arms into this diamond shape. And then back out. Let's bring them down into our ribs as much as we can, sort of like a W. Rotating the inner thighs out to support us. Back up, overhead, to the side, into the ribs. Side, head, side, ribs. Let's do it one more time. Keep breathing, nice and easy. And then we'll bring those hands to the thighs and push through the feet and come all the way up. Heel toe into our mountain pose and take a few breaths. And we're going to come to a balance pose here today. So start out with your hand on the chair. Bend the right knee. I'm on the ball of the right foot. I'll turn a little bit so you can see, yeah. And then I'm going to rotate that out to the side as much as is comfortable so you get a stretch right here in the inner thigh. This is the beginning of our tree pose, and you can always keep that toe right on the floor. Or if you've been practicing for a while, we can bring it up to where you're comfortable. I've got sneakers on today, so it's not going to come into the thigh. So maybe I could bring it to the upper thigh of the other leg and hold it there. Or I can just keep it right here on the lower part of the leg. Make sure that you're not pressing into the knee. And then stay here for a moment and work on that stability. That left foot pressing into the earth. That lift out of the pelvic area, right up through the core of the body. Maybe one hand comes up. Hover the other hand. See how it feels. Maybe the other hand comes up. Wherever you're at, shoulders are down, belly in. And you breathe. And then on the next exhale, we bring the hand to the chair, releasing the right side, foot and arm. Walk it out. Now I'm going to switch my chair for the other side. So again, we bend the left knee and turn it out as much as is comfortable. I've got my foot close to the ankle. I'm on the ball of the foot. Again, you can stay here and use the chair for stability, or you could bring it up, bring it in across the thigh if you've got sneakers on. If you you have bare feet, you could bring it up into your thigh. I'm going to stay here. And I'm going to work on my balance. So I don't want to be leaning to any side because that'll throw us out and off balance, right? So we want to lift so that we're standing on one leg and balancing there. And that foot that's on the floor, it's anchored all four corners of the foot. Belly in and up, rising energy. Keep the chin tucked. Maybe the outside arm comes up first. Maybe we hover the other hand. Maybe it comes up overhead. Wherever you're at, hold for 3 or 4 breaths. If you come off balance like I just did, just put your hand on that chair. And wherever you're at, hand down, foot and other arm down, and walk it out. Nicely done, nicely done. Let's separate those feet, and I'm going to push my chair forward so I don't hit it with my arms, but it's still within my reach. And I'm going to swing the arms crisscrossing one arm in front and then the other. And then start to bring them up. And I invite you to take them wherever you can to get that nice, easy stretch in the shoulders and arms here. And then I'll start to bounce in the knees and loosen up here. Yeah, looks good. Feels good. And that's what we want. We want, how does it feel? Yeah. And bring them down. And pause. Now, coming back to the chair, we're going to face the chair. Fingertips on the chair. We're going to thread the needle here. So we walk it back into that down dog position, maybe not as low as before. It doesn't need to be all the way parallel to the floor. You want a slight bend in your knees. And then you're going to keep one hand on the chair and take the other hand out to the side, parallel to the floor. And as you inhale, rotate the whole body and let the body lift that arm. And then it crosses over the body and you hold it across the body to the other side. Let's do that again. Inhale it, rotating in the ribs. Exhale as you cross over. Keep the knee soft. Moving through the lower ribs now. We're going to take it over to the right. I've got my left hand moving. And I'm going to push it just a little deeper. And then exhale and release it. And then I'm going to round up like I did before. Bring the hands up and reach out of one side. Reach out of the other. Just a very different position for the ribs here. And then we'll bring the other hand down. Take the other hand out. And let the ribs move the shoulders and arm. And then we cross it over the body. Reaching. And then inhale up. Exhale, cross it over. Inhale and lift. Exhale and cross it over. On this next one, we're going to hold it off to the side across the body and take a couple breaths. And again, you could be looking straight at the floor. Doing great. And then we inhale, we round up, rounding the spine, reaching up and reach out of one side and reach out of the other. How does it feel to reach and stretch and let the body move in all these directions? And then float the hands down and come to your mountain pose once again. And take a few breaths here. And then we bring the hands to the shoulders and we'll rotate the elbows around, loosening up in those shoulders that we just worked, and the other direction. And release it down. And any other movement, a little march here, a little turning, any other movement that feels good to you, you could do it this time. And then come to your mountain pose. We'll take a standing twist here today. So we bring the arms up, exhale them down, and as you do, turn to the right, stretching that right hand back, and then bring it forward. Inhale up. Exhale down. Now the left hand goes to the left. Let's move with our breath. So we inhale here. Exhale and twist. Inhale and lift. Exhale and twist. One more time on each side. Doing great. And then lower them all the way down at your side. Come to your mountain. And once again, feel the feet against earth. Feel that lift through the legs as you press into the feet. So you're not letting the feet sink down. You're actually lifting away from the feet with the body muscles. And you're lifting the ribs and you're rolling the shoulders down your back so that you can get that openness in the front of your heart. And you just pause here for a few breaths. And then close your eyes. And again, if you're uncomfortable with that, you can just glance down, or you could put your hand on your chair for that stability. And then bring the hands in front of your heart and bow to your hands for the fabulous work you did today. Opening your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me for this standing chair practice. Have a great day and check out some of the other videos on chair yoga, Yoga by Bonnie.